Only one major character appeared in every iteration of the MASH TV franchise, and it wasn't Alan Alda's Hawkeye. There is a reality where MASH was cancelled after Season 1 due to poor ratings and became a forgotten curio. Instead, it became a shock success during reruns and evolved over its first few seasons into one of the first real dramedies on television. The death of Henry Blake in MASH Season 3 sealed this transformation, while the departure of Wayne Rogers Trapper also cemented that Alan Alda's Hawkeye was the lead of the show. MASH ultimately ran for 11 seasons, coming to an emotional close in 1983. Despite being such an iconic title, there have been no attempts to remake or reboot it in the decades since. That said, it was a vote by the cast that led to the series ending, with the ensemble wanting to end on a high note, in addition to moving on to new projects. CBS didn't want the show to end, which is why MASH had a couple of spin-offs, both of which failed to match the original in terms of quality or ratings. Radar is the only character to appear in every MASH TV series. Gary Berghoff's Radar is one of MASH's most beloved figures. Many actors exited MASH throughout its run, with the final major departure being Gary Berghoff's Walter Radar O'Reilly during Season 8. Although Radar was only supposed to be around 19 or 20, Berghoff was closer to 40 when he left the show. However, this only made his journey more poignant, with viewers watching the sweet farm boy prematurely aging during his time in a war zone. One record Berghoff holds within the MASH franchise is that he is the only character to appear in both spin-offs of the CBS sitcom. It would have made little sense for Radar to return for the 1983 series finale, but he later made a guest appearance on After MASH. This high-profile sequel series was fronted by those cast members who voted to keep MASH running, with the network also wanting to keep the brand alive a little longer. On After MASH Season 1, Radar reunited with his old pals Klinger, Jamie Farr, Potter, Harry Morgan, and Father Mulcahy, William Christopher, for a two-part guest appearance. Trapper John, MD isn't considered part of the MASH franchise. The first MASH spin-off got into some legal hot water. The cast of Trapper John, MD. After MASH isn't technically the first MASH spin-off, with that honor going to Trapper John, MD, a medical drama that ran from 1979 to 1986. This picked up with the titular character about 30 years on from his wartime experiences. Trapper, played by Pernell Roberts, has become chief surgeon at a San Francisco hospital, with the series following all the various human dramas that take place in such a setting. The first episode ties into Trapper's experiences, where the sleeping surgeon dreams of archive footage from MASH, and there is a framed picture of Wayne Rogers Trapper and Alan Alda's Hawkeye in his office. Despite this, his experiences in Korea hardly ever came up across the show's 7 seasons. This was due to a lawsuit involving Ingo Preminger, the producer of Robert Altman's MASH movie and 20th Century Fox, with the former feeling he was entitled to produce Trapper John, MD as part of his deal involving TV spin-offs. It was ultimately ruled that Trapper John, MD was a spin-off of the film only, not the show. So, despite the picture of Hawkeye and Trapper from the show, Trapper John, MD is not connected with the MASH series in any way. Instead, the Trapper scene in the spin-off is based on the Elliot Gould version from Altman's film. Robert's Trapper doesn't look or feel much like Gould, but then again, the show follows the surgeon decades after the Korean War.